Manipulation is a psychological tactic used to influence, control, or exploit others for personal gain. Interesting, isn't it? It involves deception or underhanded methods that undermine the victim's sense of reality, confidence, independent decision making. William Mean here, 1799. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. Glad you could come around. I'm glad to see you too. If you're not subscribed, subscribe anyway. It doesn't cost you anything. Let's scroll down this a little bit. Manipulation is used widely by politicians. Basically, recently, with all this redistricting going on, and they're trying to play it a different way of saying, well, it's going to involve civil rights, it's going to restrict people, black voters, from being able to vote, and all this stuff. Gaslighting, we'll call it. Let's go through this a little more differently now. Now, a lot of this is because the Democrats don't like the Supreme Court's decisions. But the Supreme Court has to rely on what the Constitution says. Democrats hate the Constitution. They even hates the Bill of Rights. But that's what this is all about, right? So when we crawl down to this thing, let's look at it from a different point of view. See, the thing is, gaslighting is systematically making you question your memory, perception, or sanity to maintain control. We use that a lot. They try to use the guilt trip, use shame, blame, or reminders of the past, favors to make you bend to their will. You hear about, well, Trump is guilty, Trump is this, Trump's a pedophile, Trump is all that. Remember all that stuff? All part of this manipulating. Over justification, buying lies, manipulative points on massive amounts of talking and side details. This is meant to confuse, and you to force you to give up your challenges of the narrative. See a lot of this, right? Let's go down. Media mass manipulation. I love this one. Public figures or outlets might use psychological tactics such as manufacturing a sense of separation or using biased framing or direct public opinion towards partisan interest. Now, what does that tell you? Doesn't it sound kind of real? Let me read that again. Media mass manipulation. Public figures use or outlets that might use psychological tactics such as mass manufacturing a sense of separation or use biased framing to direct public opinion towards partisan interest. All that falls under what the mainstream media plays the game with, what they send all these lies out there. They're telling you about how the Supreme Court is going to play to deny you the right to vote. All this goes into a point, right? Internet platforms, digital platforms, algorithms, automated scripts, and are often cooperated to publish commercials and social agendas. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. But this is the point we deal with here all the time. So when you look at this whole damn thing with this manipulation and what they're doing, there's a framework going on here which they use. And this is the very same tactics that communists and socialists use. Mandami uses it. Many Democrats use it. We see this all the time, like Trump's a pedophile, Trump this, Trump's that, right? And or how they hate the Supreme Court. It's enough to make you understand something here. When Chuck Schumer and the rest of the Democrats stood on the steps of the Supreme Court saying you've woken up the whirlwind, he created a threat through manipulation. Fear is a common weapon used all the time, but it also carries consequences, and it also has a very dangerous point of getting someone killed or seriously injured. Publicly, politically, yeah. So when you crawl into this a little bit, let's look at something here that's really interesting. And then I was reading about this, how the candidates like Kamala Harris talks about packing the courts and all this sort of things. The thing here is with that is basically we want to control. That's all it is, control. If we can control the narrative through fear and intimidation, we have this in a bag. That's the most way I could put it. This is something that everyone should understand. So when you look at communism, socialism, these are one of the part of the tools that they use. The other one's education too. They do the same thing with education. They use this to do one thing: to undermine, underhand this administration and us. When you look at gun control, what's the first thing they come out with? Public safety. What's the other thing now? New word, public nuisance. What is it all about? Assault weapons. Why? They're weapons that don't belong in the hands of civilians. Weapons of war. We took them on the battlefield. Except one thing. Nobody takes a semi-automatic weapon on the battlefield. Not in today's world. The M1 Grambling is semi-automatic. The carbine was mostly semi-automatic too. You have your antique firearms were on the battlefields. Lever action rifles were on the battlefield. But again, they manipulate it. They use public sympathy to get what they want through mind or manipulation. Mind control. Fear. Intimidation. So when you look at gun control, that's where it comes from. That's why the media plays these things all the time. When you hear about people getting murdered or killed or shot or whatever it may be, it's push it to the other party, the other administration. Like this war that's going on. The truth about this war is to keep a nuclear weapon out of the hands of a government who constantly threatens to destroy this country. Democrats turn into manipulation through lies and dissent to deceive people, to turn everything to their way. So when we sit there and we comb through it, we crawl down in this freaking rat hole. But when the truth comes out, the Democrats hate it. So when the Supreme Court makes its decision, whether it be on gun control, whether it be on something else, the Democrats hate it. Because they could not control the Supreme Court through manipulation to the public. That's why they could constantly play these word games up there all the time. When they use word games such as, let's take something here, public safety, we'll go over that. They use that a lot to get these assault weapon bans through several states. So then when you crawled into now new one, public nuisance, they're using that word now as to go after manufacturers. But in actuality, it's all misinformation and lies. You can't make this stuff up. So when they try to tell people, well, these are weapons of war, they don't belong on our streets, and blah, 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 blah. But they don't tell the truth. Back in my day, they were after lever-action rifles and certain bolt-action rifles and certain handguns. They didn't tell that. In reality, they want it all. It's just like antique firearms. They're now a public safety hazard. Ooh, really? So back in the day here in New Jersey, was some goofy-ass politician stood up and held a flintlock and said, you could rob a liquor store with this gun. We need to put regulations on this gun. Because you could walk in and buy one without paperwork. It's a pistol. It's not a firearm. But they're politicians. It's a deadly assault weapon. And they use that term to use manipulation to get what they want. And what they want is power. I hope you like this video. There's a lot to it, but it's all about manipulation. If they can't control you, they'll lie. They'll lie to others. It's like, look at the truth of something like this. I could tell you the truth, you swear I was lying. But you could tell me a lie and have others believe in it if those will swear to it. That's how they play the manipulation game. Like this video? Share it. Till then, train, get the proper training, and have a good day. We'll catch you around.